All right, strap in, everybody, because today we're going deep.
Deep down into the sewers.
That's right, the sewers that spawned the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean,
Who doesn't love those guys?
I know, right? But they've been around for decades, and
yeah, how do they do it?
that's exactly what we're going to find out.
Like, how have they stayed so relevant for so long?
Exactly, and luckily, one of our listeners asked that very question.
Oh, excellent question.
So we're cracking open the ultimate source.
Ooh, which is?
The Wikipedia entry on TMNT.
Oh, wow, that's a huge one.
It is. So
Get ready.
get ready for some shell-shocking revelations.
Yeah, and I think what's really fascinating about them is how they've changed over time. They kind of reflect broader trends in entertainment and marketing.
Even cultural sensitivities.
It's crazy, right?
It is. It is.
It should be pretty insightful.
Okay, so even if you've never seen a single episode or movie,
Right.
you probably know the basics, right? 4 turtles
Mutated.
trained by a rat. A rat in ninjutsu.
Fighting crime from the sewers of New York.
Classic.
Right. Simple enough.
Yeah.
But how did this even come about?
Well, you got to picture this.
Okay.
It's 1983 in New Hampshire.
Okay.
2 buddies, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they're just hanging out, sketching.
Comic book fans.
Huge comic book fans, clearly, but also kind of like rebellious, a little bit weird, you know?
Yeah, and then one of them draws a Ninja Turtle.
As a joke.
As a joke.
Totally a parody, like poking fun at all the serious superhero comics out there.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What if we just like ran with this?
Then that's exactly what they did.
They spun it into a full-blown comic book.
And so the first TMNT comic...
Just totally DIY.
Really?
Black and white magazine size, printed with a tiny budget.
Wow.
The ultimate indie comic.
But those first 3,000 copies.
Sold out so fast.
Really?
It was crazy. Clearly, they'd tapped into something special.
Yeah, it sounds like there was an audience that was hungry for something different.
Something quirky. Something that wasn't afraid to embrace the absurd.
Totally.
Does that sound familiar?
Oh, definitely. It speaks to a desire for originality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's something that became a hallmark of the Turtles.
Yeah.
This ability to reinvent themselves while staying true to their core.
Right.
But the real turning point came in 1987.
Okay.
When Playmates Toys.
The toy company.
Yeah, they saw the Turtles' potential.
They saw dollar signs.
Exactly. And decided to make action figures.
And then, you know how this works.
Oh, yeah.
A hit cartoon.
Kids begging for the toys.
Exactly.
So Playmates, they pushed for an animated series.
Smart. And the rest is history.
History.
The 1987 cartoon launched TMNT into the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But
Wow.
here's the thing.
Okay.
The 1987 cartoon wasn't exactly a faithful adaptation
Of the comics.
of the comics.
Right.
The original comics, they were pretty dark.
Oh, really?
Gritty, violent, definitely not for kids.
Interesting.
But the cartoon, think pizza catchphrases, wacky adventures.
So a total tonal shift.
Huge shift.
Wow.
This was deliberate, obviously, to reach a wider audience of children, parents.
Right.
It needed to be more lighthearted, more family-friendly.
And this was the 80s.
Oh, yeah. The era of G.I. Joe, He-Man, Transformers.
Toy-driven entertainment.
It was king.
And sometimes that meant sacrificing some of the edge.
Yeah, for sure.
In some countries, they even changed the name
Oh, really?
to the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles.
Wow.
Because ninja was considered too violent.
I mean...
Can you believe that?
It's so interesting, though. It shows you, like, the cultural sensitivity
Totally.
of the time.
Of the time.
And even the creators themselves,
But
they had mixed feelings about this change.
I bet.
They knew they were making compromises.
Yeah.
But they also knew the value of reaching a bigger audience.
Right.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
Every long-running franchise has to deal with that.
Absolutely.
So speaking of reaching a larger audience, let's talk about the 1990 live-action movie.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Of course. Huge.
Box office smash hit. It broke records for independent films.
Wow.
And proved that the Turtles could conquer the big screen.
And this is when the franchise really starts to expand.
For sure.
I mean, we're talking sequels, video games, a stage musical.
Oh, yeah.
They even added a 5th turtle.
Wait, what?
In a live-action TV series, Venus de Milo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Not every experiment was a winner.
Right.
But
Right.
you got to admire their willingness to try new things.
They're for sure.
To push the boundaries of the franchise.
Totally. They were riding that wave of 90s turtle mania.
Totally.
And who could blame them? It seemed like anything was possible.
It did. It really did.
But then as the 90s kind of gave way to the 2000s, the Turtles, they faced a new challenge, right?
Staying relevant.
Exactly. How do you stay relevant?
In a rapidly changing media landscape.
I mean, think about it. The rise of the internet.
The explosion of cable channels.
And CGI animation was becoming the norm.
Yeah. How do you keep a franchise that started as a black and white comic book feeling fresh in that kind of environment?
Well, in 2009, the Turtles, they underwent a major ownership shift. Peter Laird sold the entire franchise.
Wow, the entire thing.
The whole thing to Viacom, which is now Paramount Global.
Okay.
And with Nickelodeon at the helm, the goal was clear.
What's that?
Revitalize the Turtles for a whole new generation.
So did they just try to recapture that 80s magic?
Not exactly.
Okay.
They knew they couldn't just rehash the same old formula.
Right.
They needed to honor the past but embrace new technologies.
New storytelling techniques.
For sure. And that led to like a series of reboots.
Reinterpretations.
Each with their own distinct flavor.
Okay, so walk me through these different versions.
Okay, so first up, we have the 2003 animated series.
Okay.
This one was actually a bit darker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and more in line with the original comics. It was a nod to those diehard fans who grew up with that Mirage series.
Right.
But it still had that classic Turtles charm.
Yeah.
The humor, the brotherly bond, the love for pizza.
Yeah. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I remember thinking that the animation style was so cool.
I know, right?
It was so much more dynamic than the 80s cartoon.
Yeah, it was like they entered a new dimension.
Literally.
Literally. And then in 2012, we got the CGI animated series.
Oh, yeah.
Which went for a much sleeker, more anime-inspired look.
Yeah.
This version, it leaned into the action, the humor.
Yeah.
And it introduced a whole new generation of fans.
To the Turtles.
To the Turtles.
I remember seeing the trailers for that one and thinking, wow, they've really gone high-tech.
It was like a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
Keeping pace with the evolution of animation itself.
Totally. And let's not forget Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2018.
Oh, yeah. That one was a 2D animated reboot.
Okay.
With a very stylized, almost experimental visual style. It had a lighter tone, a lot of humor, and it really emphasized the unique personalities of each turtle.
I actually haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is it worth checking out?
I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
Okay.
It has a different vibe than the previous series.
Right.
But it's still got that core TMNT energy.
Okay.
And each of these series, they found their own dedicated fan base.
So it's like they managed to tap into different aspects of the Turtles' appeal.
Totally.
Whether you're a fan of the gritty action, the goofy humor, or the heartfelt brotherly dynamics.
It's all there.
There's a version of the Turtles out there for you.
Exactly. And that's a testament to the franchise's adaptability. Yeah. They've stayed relevant by evolving,
embracing new technologies,
exploring different storytelling styles.
But they never lost sight of what makes the Turtles so special.
Right. Those core themes of family loyalty, fighting for what's right.
It's that balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honoring the past while looking ahead to the future.
It's totally
like this constant dance.
I like
between nostalgia and innovation.
It's true. And it's not just about the cartoons.
Right.
The Turtles, they made their mark on the big screen, too.
Yeah.
In recent years with those two. Michael Bay produced live-action films.
Oh, yeah. Those were huge.
They were big, bombastic blockbusters full of CGI and explosions.
Yeah, that might not have been everyone's cup of tea.
True.
Yeah, I remember those being pretty divisive.
Yeah.
Some fans loved the over-the-top action.
Right.
But others felt like it strayed too far from the spirit of the original comics.
Yeah, totally. But they proved that the Turtles could still draw a crowd.
Oh, yeah, box office draw for sure.
And then just this year, we had Mutant Mayhem.
Oh, yeah.
A CGI animated movie that took a totally different approach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was stylish, funny, and surprisingly heartfelt.
Yeah, I heard that one got rave reviews.
It did. It really struck a chord with both longtime fans and newcomers.
It sounds like it really captured the essence of the Turtles.
It did.
While also feeling fresh and modern.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It had a great voice cast, a killer soundtrack.
And the animation I heard was amazing.
Amazing. It felt both retro and cutting edge.
So we've seen the Turtles go from black and white indie comic to global multimedia empire.
It's crazy.
They've been through so many transformations.
Reflecting changes in technology.
Cultural tastes.
Even marketing strategies.
It's really remarkable.
It is, but I think the real question is, how have you experienced these different iterations of the Turtles?
That's a great question.
Did you grow up with the '87 cartoon?
Yeah.
Were you more of a 90s movie fan? Or did you discover them more recently through one of the newer animated series?
I'm curious to know what resonated with you the most.
Yeah, me too.
I think everyone has their own personal connection to the Turtles.
Right.
Their own favorite version, their own memories.
It's a franchise that's touched so many lives.
In different ways.
In so many different ways. And I think it's not just about personal preference.
Okay.
I think the way we relate to the Turtles can actually tell us a lot about our own cultural journey. Think about it. How have your tastes evolved?
Yeah.
What kind of stories are we drawn to at different points in our lives?
Mm-hmm.
What does that say about the world around us?
That's getting pretty deep.
I know, right?
I'm going to have to think about that one for a while.
It's pretty cool to think about.
But you're right, the Turtles are more than just a bunch of mutated turtles fighting crime.
Yeah.
They're a cultural phenomenon, a reflection of our changing times, and a reminder that even the most unlikely of heroes can leave a lasting legacy.
I love that.
You know, it's mind-blowing when you really think about how huge the TMNT universe is.
It's massive.
I mean, we've got comics, cartoons, movies, video games, toys.
Even a concert tour.
There was a concert tour.
It was.
I had no idea.
It's wild, right?
It is.
And I think that's really been key to their longevity.
What do you mean?
That multi-platform approach.
Oh, okay.
You know, each medium offers a different way to connect with the characters.
With their world.
Exactly like you might have first met them through the 87 cartoon. Right. Then you discover the grittier side in the Mirage comics.
Yeah, and then maybe you explore their world through video games.
Like Turtles in Time.
Oh, yeah, Turtles in Time.
That cross-pollination of ideas keeps the franchise feeling fresh.
And let's be real, it's a marketer's dream.
Oh, yeah.
There's a TMNT product for literally every age group.
Every interest.
You want a nostalgic throwback.
Grab a classic action figure.
Revisit the old cartoons.
Feeling modern.
Dive into the IDW comics.
The Mutant Mayhem movie.
They've really mastered catering to a diverse fan base.
They really have. And it's fascinating how that commercial aspect has shaped their evolution.
Okay.
They're like a prime example of balancing creative vision.
With commercial success.
It's a delicate dance, but when it's done right, it allows a franchise to keep growing, reach new audiences, explore new possibilities.
And it's amazing how, through all of that,
Yeah.
they've managed to stay true to their core appeal while constantly adapting. I mean, they've gone from black and white, indie comic,
to a global multimedia empire.
from gritty vigilantes.
To pizza-loving goofballs.
But through it all, there's still those endearingly flawed, fiercely loyal heroes.
That's the magic of them, right?
It is.
They're more than just four turtles trained in ninjutsu.
Yeah.
They're a symbol of brotherhood resilience, finding your own unique path.
In a world that's constantly trying to define you.
It's a message that resonates across generations.
So we've explored their humble beginnings, their rise to fame, their various transformations, their impact on pop culture.
What a journey.
What an incredible journey.
But the story's not over.
It isn't.
It's constantly being written and rewritten with each new comic, each new cartoon, each new film.
So what will the future hold for Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo?
Who knows?
I guess that's a question only time will tell.
But one thing's for sure.
What's that?
These turtles are here to stay.
And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the future of the Turtles. Maybe revisit some of their past adventures. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and as always, Cowabunga.